you. Recently, as I taught you the level 20, I have prepared for you that in the future you are able to contribute to help in many aspects, not only in treatment alone. However, as you know, when you merge collectively anywhere, any place, your soul is always there. The soul of these people there, they combine with you. When they think of yourself, they think that you have the ability, then for sure your soul is very sharp. You receive these messages, receive the thought wave from these people who need your help, and your soul will warn your body. Just like a number of cases that in the past you had dreams, your soul guide your body to travel here and there so that you know the past, the present, and the future. The future you cannot see it yet, but at a time certainly you see the future that in the past you had forewarned. That is in the case your soul more or less forewarned to your body. So this time it is different. This time I let you practice, even though you are practicing, but you are doing it beyond the imagination of people, because you are able to merge to 1%, 3%, and many people. For that, in the future, at anywhere, you are able to sense the energy, where it comes from, and what happened in this region, as you know, aware of it, so you are able to merge the transfer energy to help. Slowly, as you are learning too fast, it is too soon. Recently, I just organized the level 20, so you have the ability to help in this way or that way. And now you are learning the level 19. You try with everything that you learn from this level, try your best to practice to merge. It doesn't mean that you learn the level 19 and you are better than the level 20. You may not. As I mentioned to you yesterday, as I taught the students in many levels, and those who are paralyzed, in the case of paralysis for Master Dan, 3 years I could not even cure, for 3 years. But my student at level 2, 60% chakra open, treating for 2 days, the person can walk. Never happened in the history of mankind, but it exists. So you can see that is the fate and destiny of each person, of each soul. Do not think that you are young and you can live long. You may not. Or you are young and you can do more. You may not. Or the elderly, they only need to help 2%, and these 2% influential people who can help millions of people. Listen carefully. You are the younger people, you help 1%, and that's 1% or 10% alone. For that reason, do not think that you learn high and others they learn low and they're not as equal to you. Do not think that you are elder and they are younger, they can do more. They may not, because it is a mission as God had chosen our body and our soul to contribute in many aspects, low and high. So for that reason, within our limits, within your own limit, whatever level that you learn, you help within your capacity. You help in the nearest. Do not think too far away. It's better to help less rather than to try to do more. As you try to anticipate to do more and you are not able to do anything. How come people right around you, closest to you, and you do not help, and you want to wait to help the country, the bigger task, to help the communities in the world? But what for? That is just to create more power. That is a lesson 34 years ago I have learned. In the past, I just learned, the deities revealed to me to have a lot of power, and with a lot of power I have to help the country, the continent. No, right here, right in the region where you are. Then it will spread out. As it spread out, not too long, now you don't have much, you want everything. You cannot. Do not want everything, just do it. Then automatically people will come to you. Then at that moment you don't have time to rest. Now everyone, you want everything. I understand for you. I also understand that you want to learn high, to have more knowledge, so you have the condition to help all the people. This is a good thing. But then nobody knows you, so how can you help? So a step at a time, you just have 1% and it's spread out to 10, hundreds and thousands. Then at that moment, you don't need. At that time, you will complain because you don't have time to rest. You feel exhausted. for sure, perhaps you would hide, stay in your home. In the morning, you go very early. Even if you try to go early because they are waiting for you at 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock when you wake up, before you want to hide, and you treat to 80 people before you even try to hide. I know this happened. In my country, people are poor. They don't have the medical means. They don't have doctors. They don't have hospitals. They treat 3 minutes, and they have to take the small boat 3 hours to come just for have 1 minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes for treatment. And after 2 days, the case is clear. So 3 in the morning, in a river, row the boat to come to get healing for 3 hours. And each day like that, from 4 or 5 in the morning, they have 100 and 200 patients waiting for them. That's how I share with you the experience, especially from my country. I want to share with you, with everything you learn, a step at a time to help. Do not rush. A step at a time, you do it, and then the condition, the deities will give you the environment. If it is your mission, then for sure, if you're working, God will pay you 100 times. I do not tell you to retire. I do not tell you to give up your job. You just do it. But the deities can calculate much cleverer than you, better than the ordinary people like the humans. So you don't worry. The important part is, I wish and I share with you, within our limit, we help. Do not anticipate or want to do more and to do much, to give this and let people know you. You don't need to. The fact that people know you, the fact that you serve more or less, do not worry. If you have the sincere heart, truthful heart to serve, then you don't have to worry. The deities will take care for you, and they are much more clever than you. They can plan carefully, much better than you, so you don't have to worry about it. Now go on, next question.
Master, how can the soul heal the body? Master, are you God? If you aren't God, what relation do you have with God? What is life? Thank you, Master. ¿Cómo puede el alma sanar al cuerpo? ¿Es usted?
Now let me explain for you. Before, when you learn the level 18 to the past, you only treat the body alone. You cannot help the soul. When you come to level 19, then you have the ability, you are able to treat the body and the soul. To treat the soul meaning you are helping the soul to be enlightened. It doesn't mean the soul is sick that you treat. We use the terminology that you're helping the soul to be able to reach a higher state of enlightenment, so the soul can help that body to cure from the sickness. That is how you are able to treat at the root, by helping the body and the soul of the sick person. Listen carefully, so you do not be confused that you have the ability, you treat the soul. The soul doesn't have any sickness, but you can help the soul with enlightenment, to help the soul to evolve. That is our mission, your mission. Whether that soul, from any level, including in the future, as I taught you, or in the past I have taught you. In the past, a number of you are afraid to transfer energy to the sacred places, and you're so afraid to do that. When I explain for you, then you don't worry about it. As you transfer energy, it doesn't mean that you transfer energy to this high being, but you transfer energy so that they follow your energy to help the humankind. So on that, I do not explain more, otherwise you would be distracted to try to learn the higher levels. I just want to share with you the part of the information, because your question relates to the case of treatment of the body and the soul. I explain for you so you understand from that issue. Now, people want to use the concept of God. In the case of misunderstanding, people who are trying to take away God and take away, so I would not have, if they refer to me as God, then they will come and capture me. From the Catholic, from the Muslim, from the Baptist, from many religions, they have the concept of God. Not the Buddhists. I know, not the Buddhists. The Buddhists only believe in Buddha, not God. Now they try to mix from the other religion because they do not see, so they don't believe. They only see Buddha and as a life a person, and they only believe in Buddha alone. In the case of the Kuan Yin Buddha in Chinese, but in Thailand they do not believe. As a lot of people who pray to Kuan Yin, so about the Orthodox Buddhists, they do not believe because the man, they cannot touch the woman, so they do not, even though it is the statue, they do not dare to touch the statue because they cannot touch the female. Even though it is a statue, they do not dare to touch, they do not dare to worship. So it is a pity. That is for the case of Orthodox Buddhism. I have the clear evidence because they do not touch. So they have to use a piece of paper, and then they cannot touch the woman. That is the restriction in Buddhism. They cannot even touch. They do not dare to touch the female. They use they just use a piece of cloth, and so you put the woman. They place anything on a piece of cloth, and so I don't know how they research. So they said do not come close, and so they just put anything, the offering, right on a piece of cloth. If it is too heavy, and it just dropped, and he cannot eat. I have evidence whatever I say, because I have seen all of these cases. I see it, so I can tell you. That is tradition, culture, from all of the places. As we understand the culture and tradition, do not laugh at them, do not criticize them, but because it is a reality. So I advise for you, particularly, suppose I do not say, but since you ask, I share with you, so you listen carefully. Starting from January 2007, as I prepare the end of the first level 19 in Melbourne here, the soul of Master Living Dan has changed from the year 2007 and beyond, and it is permanent. And this soul had never been on earth. The first into to the fourth human race, they are on earth, but my soul has never been on earth. Only in that way I can combine the soul of the first to the fourth human race to help the fifth human race, that includes me, so we can have wisdom and enlightenment to help mankind. So I do not take from anyone. I have no names, so it is best in that way. Now with names, then I said that I have this title and that name, and they would kill me quite fast because of their hatred. There's no benefit in that. I had explained to you many times already. You, in the same way, in the human world, if you have the ability, you don't need to advertise. With your ability, people would know you. They need you. They come to you. You don't need to advertise so they can have this and have that to be able to have this and that. You don't need it to learn this and that. Do you have the ability or not? If you have the ability, you don't need to introduce yourself. Now they say that they hear that you learn this, and you say that yes, the master have taught me this, and you do within your limit. And then even if they ask more higher than that, you won't know. So only answer like that. You say that you are learning a level 20, and the master teach you to travel to space, to merge collectively, to merge here, merge there. You say so many things, but they say that between the husband and wife, can you merge? And you merge when you go to the shopping. Even when they talk about merging, let's say when you go to the husband and wife, because if you can, you cannot. If you are, meaning you are in a mental hospital, so never, whatever they claim, do not listen. Whatever you learn, you know. Because these people who try to ask you, they have two ways. First, to try to criticize you. Second, they do not know, and they keep on asking, and you keep on answering to them. My God, a deaf and a blind, and you try to use sign language. How do they know? You try to show the pot, or you show the orange, and it become the grape. It cause problem. So whatever the teacher or the master has taught you, and you know within your limit. Since they do not know, and they ask you, then you just like, for example, in your ear, and you try to talk to a deaf person, and for sure the deaf person do not know, because that person cannot hear you. So that's why I explain for you, so you understand that we do not need to explain much among you yourself. Within our teaching, you can, for example, you are level 19. For those who are level 18, who said that in the past, level 18, Master Ang said that, thought like this, and the technique is similar, but level 19, you are able to merge 3%, and Master Ang show you more experience and this and that. And hopefully, for you, you are in level 17, 18. When you go to level 19, you would be just like me, or as I'm learning at level 19. So you explain like that is better. You will say that, my God, I know. As I try to control the student, but they try to say a lot more, because by saying they do not go in jail, they just try to show off that they know a lot. But some of these people who are researchers, they ask, and then they are stuck. They say they are level 19, but some of the level 19 students, sometimes they learn, and some you as you go to the toilet, and when you time you are in the toilet, you don't hear that lecture. And the people who hear that lecture, and at that time you are in the toilet, you don't hear on that part, because at that time you are in the toilet, so you cannot hear the lecture. So I know, I tell you the truth. So whatever you know, you say it. If you do not know, don't say it. If they try to ask, they ask whatever you do not know, then you are stuck. So that is very practical. I want to teach you, so you have the sufficient ability. As you know 10 and you answer 9, you are better than others. To better than others, meaning that you know everything clearly. You know 10 and you try to say 10, sometimes you are mistaken. But 10 is you may not have the sufficient evidence to clearly answer for them, but to answer 9, then it is clear for you. So if you follow that, it is better for you. So you just lower yourself, then it's better. If you try to be equal or higher, then you will be stuck. Doesn't mean that I teach you 10 and you remember all 10. As I teach you 10, if you can remember 10, but it's very rare. And even if there are, you may not be able to complete. Doesn't mean that you can take all the notes. You may not. Except when you listen to the recorder and you write it back, then it may be clear. But if you do not hear and you try to take note yourself, for sure you would miss at least 5-10%. So for that reason, I advise for you. You learn in level, you learn 10, you just say you know 9. Do not say that you know 10, then you know everything. That is my opinion I give you. Therefore, my soul, you do not need to know my soul, who I am, what I do. But importantly, that my new soul here, combining with the soul of all the human race to help humankind to evolve. And after my mission, my body is not on earth, but then my body is not on earth. I don't know when, at what day, what month. But from my perspective, as I learn the lesson in the level 20, as the deities revealed to me, I only have the happiness for 1 minute and 1 hour, and that is done. Each moment, each hour in the past, I calculate for decades or centuries. Now I only live by the hour. After an hour, I do not know. So that way is much better. Meaning we are preparing to go to death, and happily to go to death, to face death. So we don't have to worry. Now you sit here, you have family, you have a beautiful wife, you have a luxury, you have a house, and you worry. So what for? It didn't come, so why you worry? So just to enjoy that 1 hour, and after that you die, then it is much better for you. Now if you are afraid of death, and at the moment of death, you remember that you have the gold that you bury on your bed, but the gold, but you kept out in the garden, but you keep on remember the gold, and you just stay around in your bed. So that's why I advise for you. It doesn't mean that we are not being negative, but you do not hang on or dream about the future, about the career, the children and grandchildren, that they have a brilliant career, they learn to do well in school, and you want to have everything, you want to have a bright future, a career, and unintentionally, we don't know when it comes, what happened, but you can see the problem right in front of you. You see others, they do well in school, and you yell at your children, and you look over there and see the children are doing good others, and you yell at your own children. I tell you the truth, sometimes it doesn't mean I try to give up my own family, but then you take care too much for them. But if they die suddenly, then you feel a lot of pain, suffering. It doesn't mean you abandon them. You are different, they are different. The family, they are all different. If they are all the same, then we would not have war, because they are not different. They are all different from the principle in the human world. They are so strange. We see other business. We look at the other standard and try to condemn your own family. How come their family like this and our family we cannot like this? They eat differently. They live differently. They wear different clothing. They have different habits. And they use different products. And you try to be just same like them. How can you? That is how I share with you. This is the means that perhaps you are able to learn and progress. Do not use a standard from others that is there and use their standard to apply on you and to condemn your own family. That is very illogical. I don't want to say that it is a sin, but it is so illogical. How come you don't try to follow them? My God, over there they are different. Over there, their father are Australian and Chinese. How can your father is not? How can you be just like them? And you try to be just like them, and then you have a fight between you and your wife. And you try to be the same like that, and then how come when your children look the same just like them, and let's say how come you don't look like me and you look like them, and you want to be just like them? You can see in the human we are so contradicting. You want to be just like them, to be just like them, to lose your head. If you look just like them 100% and you lose your head, you give birth to your son, and you want to look just like the other one. If it looks like the other one, you die. So that is how we are so strange as a human. Even your own children, you want to look just like you, but you want to look just like the others. So that is how strange we are as a human. This strange thing I share with you, so you have this experience. It's so difficult to say. So now I advise for you, the soul master rank. It is so you don't need to know the name or the age, and never been on the list in the human for the first time. We in the year 2007 that come to Earth. Now do not say that I'm just need to know that my name is LUONG from Vietnam. I teach EV school. That's all. There's no problem in knowing that. Now about the life I share with you from this experience. As you live, who do you live for? To live for your ancestors, parents, or yourself, or for your children, or your children, grandchildren in the future. Who do you live for? In fact, your life, who do you live for? From a principle in the human world, you live for your family, parents, brother, sister, spouse, children. Is that right? But then, how come you force your family to listen to others? That is so illogical. How come you try to force yourself to listen to these people? Tradition, culture, family, society, that is the one that cannot help people to be enlightened, and that cause people to be in the darkness. And you cannot blame. For the past 2 days I mentioned to you, that is the condition of the 5th human race. We cannot have wisdom and enlightenment. For those who have the wisdom and enlightenment, they also fail, so not to mention about us. So my mission is to remind you, if you have the wisdom and enlightenment meaning doesn't mean that you have talent, doesn't mean you have intelligence, doesn't mean enlightenment that you can come and return back to God. Wisdom and enlightenment here, meaning you have full knowledge, so you live accordingly in the human world. Do not listen to people who praise you through the words, or listen to stories through words. Do not listen to examples. 5,000 years ago, people with powers. 5,000 years later, these people with money and power. Do you have power? Do you have money? That is war. Because you want just like them. That's why you cause war. The war from your personal self. the war in your family, the war to the people around you. It is not you who cause it. That is society that causes it. That's why wisdom enlightenment concept in UE, you have knowledge, and with this knowledge, you are able to live completely for yourself and of people around you. What is that knowledge? That give it to you, but you don't want to take it. The real truth God gives to you, you don't take it. You just take the fake, the theory. The real one, meaning the light of God, or the ability that God has given to you, that you already have it. You are able to help yourself already. You help others already, but you do not want to take it. You look at the books, the best researchers, the books that sound so good, so profound, and that's how it led to your death. The fact the deities have given to you the truth unconditionally, to give you that you are able to use infinitely to help yourself and others, that is the life in the truth. This is the real one. But you don't want to live in the truth, but you want to live in a fake sense. But we have to understand for the humankind, all around you, all the people who live in a fake sense, how can you live in the truth? In Vietnam, there is a saying, when you close to the ink, you are black. Near the light, and you are bright. So you are close to the one who are dark, and then you are dark. So that is how it says in Vietnam. But all the people, you want to be close to the light, to be bright, but you don't want to put in the oil to burn on the light. You want to be in the dark. That's why there are wars. You have the light of joy, and then you just extinguish that light of joy, and so you can have the dark. That is the nature of the fifth human race, that includes me also. Therefore, our life, it is meaningless, have no value. There's only meaning the truth, meaning to serve people. It doesn't mean the truth, meaning is so profound that you have all the knowledge. What for? You understand, can you help yourself? No. To understand the truth, can you help others? No. Then that would not be the truth. The truth here is God, Christ, Buddha, who taught us to act to help others. That is the truth. The truth is to love the deities, then to help others. That is the truth. Does it mean the truth so that you have full knowledge? So you learn all the books, but can you help others? No. How come? Because you are lazy. Then why should you research and learn the truth? Buddha taught you only two things. Jesus taught you only two words. To love people and help people. Love and help. That's all. To love and help. Only these two words. Can you do it? No. You learn a million books. They taught you only two words. To love and help. But no, you cannot do it. Then why should you learn all the books? What is the purpose of you believe in the deities? I explained for you in two words. Then suddenly you'll be enlightened. That's all about life. If you're the Catholic, you believe in Jesus. If you're the Buddhism, you believe in Buddha. If you're the Muslim, you believe in Muhammad. You only learn two words that they taught you: love and help. Love and help unconditionally. The condition they had given to you, the deities had given to you, no cost to you, infinitely. You can give and give. Now you say that you love the deities, you love people. Where do you love? How do you live? Who do you live for? You are not even living for yourself. You are not even living for other people. You are not living for yourself and others. Since you asked about the meaning of life, I explained for you the meaning of life at the moment. Religion only two: love and help. Instead of love and help, now we try to take care of the people. For that reason, you have wisdom enlightenment, meaning you understand everything to help appropriately. And if they are so bad and you help them, they turn bad. If they are bad and you help them to be to be worse, then you should not help them, because that would not be the light of joy for you. In a way, you are directly or indirectly hurting yourself and hurting those as you try to help that they don't deserve. Then if you do that, then you do not listen to Buddha or Christ or the deities. Is that right? Because you ask about life, so that's why I explain for you. This is selfish, your own selfishness, that you cause war for 35 million years until now. Now we cannot even change. As you asked, supposedly I would take 3 days or a whole week, could not even finish explaining this, but for the level 19, this is sufficient, especially for the level 20 you audit here. Now, next question.
Many years ago, you told us that we can write the names of our children and grandchildren, that we can put it on a list and send it to you. Is this list still existing, and are our children and grandchildren still on this list, part of this list? My granddaughter, she's 11 years old, has many problems because she is a child which is raised while their parents were divorced. Thank you very much.
Now, I do not change. However, as you're learning to the higher levels, you have the opportunities to transfer energy collectively to help them, especially for some of the cases that your family members, you have a severe problem that you are not able to help. Then you send a list to me each day. In the morning, I do the collective healing to all of the people who send the list to me. So you listen carefully. I explain for you, so you're able to help yourself. In parallel to that, the reason I allow you to practice to merge to 3%, meaning the people with the social problem, difficulties, these are your family members or your acquaintance, when they have a severe problem or social problem. In a way, as you merge, you are able to help the soul to solve the problem for the body with the sickness, or in the case of social problem, to help that person to be back to normal. That is the reason that I want to train you in level 19, so you can do it in a smaller number, so that in the future you are able to apply more in many aspects. It doesn't mean that you are merging alone. There are many other aspects. It doesn't mean that you learn to transfer energy and merge to treat people. That's all. There are many other important aspects, and this important aspect that in the future you have the condition to contribute. Perhaps the country, the family, and the communities around the world. That is how I explain for you. Now go on, next question.
Would you go?
This is the question from the first student. He says, I'm a medium and I went to a course for 2 years. I have many days of suffering. Having gone to hospitals where I get better after a while. When I pray, he says, which I do every day, my body vibrates from bottom to top. Why, he wonders. He also says that he has a special praying place where he does his prayers and works. He would like to ask you, dear Master, whether this is a good or bad situation and what should he do? The question from the second student, he wants to present his sincere apologies if he's inconvenient. In the BUMOC meeting from 13 to 21st of March 1996, in the question 361, which was about the pineal brain gland, Master answered that if the main and the secondary glands get together, if both were developed and men knew how to use them, he would reach immortality. Now, 11 years later, he wonders whether there is anyone inside the UE school who might have reached such a state, be immortal. The other question from the student. what kind of information is stored within a soul that has arrived to a body? And where does the new soul collect the memories of an earlier soul? Can you explain, Master, in an understanding method, how does it happen, the swap of souls? How come we are the same person with all the soul changes at each level? And furthermore, if in a seminar, if the souls of the auditors change. Now the question from the third student. Master, you have been telling us that sometimes you want to help your family, but when you do it, they act not correctly. He wonders, how can we know the right attitude to take towards people? How can we choose what's best for us as well as for others? How to tell whether we are being guided by the ego, by selfishness, or acting according to the truth? And how can we tell what belongs to the soul from what belongs to the mind and emotions? And Master, there have been many questions about the garlic water. So, if you don't mind, Master, to clarify some doubts. There are people with liver problems and those small wounds inside the mouth, which I can't remember the word in English, small white spots inside the mouth. People with colitis, inflammation in the intestines. Should they drink the garlic water? And there is a person with a weak immune system who is drinking 30 milliliters 3 times a day. And she wonders if she will continue to drink the garlic water. If she gets better, she will drink 10 milliliters 3 times a day forever. And still wishes to know if in the near future it would be possible to have a new formula which requires less garlic than now, because as she has many sick people in the family, it takes a lot of time to prepare it. And to finish, does the formula require 300 or 350 grams of garlic? Thank you, Master. Is everything clear, Ru?
Yes. Now, through your question from Portugal, let me answer for you. You listen carefully. Now, let me explain for you. This morning, as well as the previous seminars, particularly in this class, when you are used to that energy, you do not sense anymore. When you sense in one way or another the symptoms, meaning that your energy is weak, you are not able to combine with the energy from the deities. Just like when you are practicing. When you are practicing, as you practice and suddenly you lose all the sensation, you are familiar to the flow of the energy, you are able to travel out to space easily. When you are practicing, you do not lose all the sensation, you have strong vibration in your body. It is to prepare your body to travel out to space, but that is such a strong energy. Slowly, as you are practicing, you gradually used to it. You don't have that sensation of vibration or hot or cold anymore, meaning your energy, you are combined with the energy, you are familiar with that flow energy, so you are able to practice and travel out to space easily. Don't worry about it. All of the students encounter this situation because it is so new, the energy is so powerful. If you know that, slowly you practice and you are able to get rid of this uncomfortable sensation, as this student, as well many students in the past have explained. So you are able to rest assured to continue to practice, so you are able to achieve the success, so your body can transform into energy to travel out to space. As you know, in March 1996, I explained to you many years ago, when I taught in December 1995 in Geneva, Switzerland. That was more than 2,000 of you. For the first time, I taught you how to use the chakra 6 in a level 5.1. When you practice with the pineal and pituitary glands, once the two glands are combined together, it will create some of the hormones that are appropriate to the body, to help the body to heal from sickness. But the humans, we have the limit due to tradition, culture, family, society, that cause us to have a lot of fear and worries. Therefore, we cannot constantly combine these two glands. However, in the recent decades, the scientists and doctors from the West, they research as they study this yogi master when they meditate, when they close their eyes to meditate, then the two parts of the brain, they are all connected. Meaning when they are in the meditated state, when they come out of the meditated state, then there is a disconnection in the brain. In a way, it is improving the immune strength, improving the energy in your body, so you can fight from the sickness. These are the case of the yogi masters when they meditate. So I train you with the chakra 6 as you transfer energy. Beyond the three-dimensional world, you are using all the dimensions by using your chakra 6. You transfer energy to from A to Z without any interference from the energy. I have taught you for almost 12 years ago. After 11 years, we have the level 20, because I have to mention about level 20. Suppose they do not say about the level 20, but in level 20 you have everything. You are fortunate that officially you are able to come, and if you give it up, then it's on your own fault. 200,000 years until now, the humankind on earth, they do not have wisdom and enlightenment. They do not have this. I tell you, including the people from the fourth human race, they did not learn this. We are in the fifth human race, we are able to learn this, to combine everything, the wisdom and enlightenment from those, the souls, from the first to the fourth human race that merged to our body. That would be the infinite wealth. And now, what more do you want? You are still want a husband, wife, career, family, wealth, fame. You want your children and grandchildren to have all the brilliant future. That is all a good thing. But do you have the ability to do it? Do you have it? You want it, can you have it? That is your own knowledge. You want to have the pineal and the pituitary glands to combine together. You want it? Then you have to get rid of these things. The truth you want, but you want the fake. The fake one is blocking the truth. Therefore, you cannot want the truth. You always hang on to the fake one. Until when you want the truth and you have the truth, then you can get rid of the fake one. You don't want, you know why you want this fake one? Because of power, selfishness. That's why you always hang on to this fake one. The fake one meaning power, and everyone wants this. In the truth, there is no power. The truth meaning to learn to help, not for pleasure. Pleasure here is the blessing. It is not to have fame, fortune, but most of the people, they want power. Money, fame, fortune in the world. Everyone wants this. So you cannot blame them. That is because we are the fifth human race, including those in the previous, they want just like us. Therefore, God has been testing us to teach humankind, and we are not able to achieve it until now. I cannot confirm whether we can or not, But with everything that I learned, with everything that I have been teaching, I guide you. So depending on your decision, I cannot decision. God cannot make a decision. God had given. You continue on to receive the fake one. You continue. I cannot force you. You want to use the truth, then I cannot deny you. My mission as a deity had allowed me to teach you. I teach you. After I teach you, after I show you, then it's up to your decision. Whatever you want, it is up to you to decide. I cannot force you. That is how I share with you. So the question as you ask. Now the new soul, now what is it? On earth there's only a three-dimensional world. Listen carefully. This new soul, they are from other planets, from outer space, not on earth. Earth, the soul here from the chakra 3 down. These are from the chakra 3 up to chakra 5. They do not have the ability because they are all in the cycle in the world, traveling from one continent to another, one country to another. So they're only just circling in here. I understand for these souls, as you know, after death, and sometimes after death they still hang on to power and selfishness. So we cannot blame these people who are bad. They cannot eat, they cannot wear, they cannot have everything, but they still want. After death, they still want everything. So do not say that how come the living are like this. If you know, so you can feel at peace, try your best. Try your best to learn from the truth so that you can cover the fake, to turn the fake into the truth. That's why after 19 levels, supposedly I would say that you learn to have the power, you learn to have this, you learn to have that. No, I said no. You spend the money, effort and time to learn UE so that you can fail. No master would say like this. People learn to be successful more or less, but I say you learn to so you fail. No master, it's just like Master Dang who teach you like this. You think that you spend all the time and effort to learn, but you learn to fail. Is it right? To learn to fail in a fake world. To learn to fail in the fake world so you can have the truth. And once you have the truth, then you can contribute to help people. The truth come to you in level 16. Because the fake one, as the truth meaning that your body can transform into energy in the human world, they do not have this. From the past 200,000 years until now, they don't have it. Now, you can see it, this is real. You have to go through 15 levels. In the level 16, you can have the truth. Then you try your best to learn until you reach the level 16, you have the truth. It doesn't mean that you fail from the beginning till now. You fail in the fake one, you suffer for the 15 levels. In level 16, you find the truth. Meaning your body, you can travel out to space, combining with your soul to return to the deities. You have the ability to contribute to help mankind. The fake in that sense, and also the truth is in this sense. You listen carefully. So in your soul, as you know, from one planet to another, then it merges into you. That's why it's better than your former soul. So you are able to help other people. If it is still in this three-dimensional world, that will be the same. You have to be from other dimension, beyond this three-dimensional world on earth, then you would have the ability to help your body. So your body can help the other bodies inside this three-dimensional world. You are not a sorcerer, but how come? You are just like a sorcerer. You are not a person who practices black magic, but how come you can do it? And you have not learned a day in medical school, but how come you are like a physician? You are like a healer. And you are not in the field of science and technology, but how come you are able to help? And did you learn this? But how come you know? You don't learn, but how come you know? Because God had given to you. To give meaning your soul out of space, who merge into your body. That's why you have this ability. If the ordinary soul, oh my God, I tell you the soul from the animal to become the humans, just like my cousin. Just look at the face, you know it's dumb, you cannot help, he cannot even help himself. How can he help anyone else? That is how I share with you, so you understand from this experience. For the auditors, there are changes. The level 20 go back to level 20. Level 19, as auditors, you still the same. For level 18, it will change. For the level 20, you audit here, your soul is not degrading. If I say that you are auditing and there are changes, then all of you run out of the class, you don't come to audit, especially the Vietnamese who come here. I see that 5% who are the level 19 and more than 40 people who are auditors, all the level 20 who are auditors. If I say that all of those who are level 20 who audit in all of the levels, then the level 20 would merge to you, then you would not dare to come here to audit. You will be afraid. From then you would not dare to come to audit the class. And then I just share with you, as you know. The reason that I had request a number of you in the future, in the higher levels, if you have the time to come to audit, because in each of the level I teach differently, just like this level 19. I taught differently comparing to other level 19 session. The other one, they definitely hear that the part that I share the information from level 20, as well as through your question similarly, but through the time I answer differently. That is a number of you have the chance to learn so you're able to progress. It is different comparing to the previous session of the level 19. That is the reason I advise and remind you each time when we have the class, the higher level. If you have the time, then you come to audit. If you don't have the time, at home, you can also learn. Meaning, you learn through the video tapes or the DVD that you have. You learn to research further. You do not have to come to the class to audit each time when there is a class. Except when you have the time, when you are free, then you can come. The more you can attend, the better. Now, let me explain for you. I want to use the subject of my own nephew. He's poor. He's poor and dumb. It is not a sin being poor and dumb, but I'm far away, I do not know. And my nephew, I have many of them. I could not remember all of them. Whoever I remember, then it is lucky for him. But when I give to my own family members, if they know how to keep and they take care of himself and others, then that will be the right one. If I help them and he hurt himself, didn't show disruption to all the people, then that is the wrong way. Unintentionally, we do it wrongly, and it is influence them 3 enlightened lifetimes. So in a way, if we are hurting them, their children, grandchildren could not even, as you are the grandparents, then for sure as you help them, they would suffer. Because the great-grandfather like that, so they will be the same, they cannot change. So that is your own fault. So in that way, you shut down everything. If they want to sell the house, let them sell the house, let them sell the car, let them do it. If they are hungry, give them food to eat. When they are poor, give them the necessity, just the basic necessity, the money sufficient, so that if they don't have enough rice, then you give them to eat, to see if they can change. If they cannot change, then they would die, because no matter how you help, they would die. So you'd rather let them be poor, they can take care of themselves. That is my plan for others. I do not know from a dumb and poor person become to a person with greed and evil, cursing all the people, cursing all the family members, all the neighbors, because he thinks he has money, he thinks he's rich. That is my own fault. I do not listen, but his mother told me, his own mother told me, and said that now uncle, what can you do? So I take back his car, sell the land, just to stay in the farm, take care of the ducks. And then suddenly now he changed. When he's sick, then ask for money. If you have money, think wear luxury and riding car, lead a reckless lifestyle, getting drunk and going gambling, go to the bars. That is my fault, not his. If he's poor and stay take care of the ducks, and he would not. This is my own fault, as I give him all the money, so that now I can see he can really change. But for his children, give them the necessity for food and shelter, but not extra money. So without extra money, how can he dare to go to get drunk. Now the money you keep on giving, so they can spend. When you say you don't give, but you don't give 100, but you give them 1,000, so that's why they keep on spending. And they hurt himself, they hurt his neighbor, hurt all the people around him. That is your own fault. Then you say that you feel pity for them. In fact, you are killing him. So for more than a year until now, I do not let them have a car. He has to walk. When he is sick, then I give them money to buy the medication. And suddenly he changed his personality. And now, with a piece of land, if you cannot use it, sell it. So give him just a field, just to take care of the field. When he doesn't have enough rice or salt, and without the money, give him the necessity just to take care. That is the best way. That is from my experience. I want to share with you. Because all the people, we love our family members, but we have to love them correctly, using wisdom and enlightenment, so that we are able to guide them to become a good person. It is, when he has money, he look low on all the people. He curses the neighbors and family members. These are all innocent people. When they get drunk and boasting around, but when he's poor, lying on the ground, then can he boast? So that is our own fault. So we love, we take care of the necessity to take care of their spouse, their children when they are sick, but never give them extra money. Then they cannot commit any sin. My God, with the money, you give all the money, and because they keep on asking 500 and you give 1,000, and you ask for 1,000, you give them 1,500, so you are corrupting them. Unintentionally, you are hurting them, and also the people, they hate them because he try to curse at these people, causing disruption to the people. That's how I share with you from the experience. I do not want to say anyone. I'm talking about my own nephew. In my family, there's no strangers. But I do not abandon them. I help. You help when they are poor. When they don't have enough to eat and shelter. Even now, if you give them $1 million, he still say he's poor. Even $1 million is never satisfied. The more money you give, and the more you corrupt him. So that is the experience. In my own family, I want to share with you. We love them. We take care of the family, children, grandchildren, but never give them the condition to be banned, and give them the condition to cause disruption to neighbors. These people are innocent, and then they think that you are rich, and in the past you were poor, and you show respect to the people. Now you are rich, and you think you look low at people when you are drunk and cursing all the people. This is real. So now, as being a parent, I'm just like the uncle in that family. I see that Master Dang, I make that mistake. So now I do not punish him to see if he dare. Just leave him for 3 years, then he will change. If you keep on covering for him, I said that uncle is poor, and give him the money so he get drunk again. And he keep on saying that's suffering, and give him the money, go to a bar again, and then live a reckless lifestyle, and keep on saying that they're suffering. They have no money, but give them the money the first day and the second day, spend them all. Can you imagine? He write the letters and give them $500, and Monday give, and then on Sunday, and he said he used them all. In 1 week, he spent all $500. He lived more than a king. I'm over here. In a whole week, I will spend $40. In 1 week, he spent $500. So you can see that that's how they are corrupted. Because in the past, they do not have money, so that's why. So in that case, how can you handle it? Suppose they give 500 in Vietnamese, but $500 equal to 8 million Vietnamese. You spend in 1 week, and he said they drink coffee, and they lost all the money because go to the bar, getting drunk, all the girls take out all the money. In 5 days, lose all the money. Just go sit down with the girl. And this girl, she talked to him, and I'm pouring coffee to him, and take all the money away from him. Drinking coffee with mixing with wine, and he was so drunk. And when he was so drunk, he lost all the money and write the letters again. So now he's poor, he's hungry, he doesn't have enough to eat. The wife is sick, and send the money and continue to do it. So that's why I'm deceived. Look at me, I'm always being deceived. Because I'm deceived, so now I let him suffer, so he knows. As you ask, I share with you from my family. I give the subject. It doesn't mean that I'm talking bad about my family, but this is the experience I share with you. Whether you do it or not, it is up to you. I don't have any comments. As you ask about my family, I share with you. Whether you do it or not, it is up to you. I don't have any comments. As I die and as I help my family, I cannot help them, so I can help others, so they don't call. So it's best not to call on me as they are suffering. Now I tell you the garlic. When you are typing, it is 350 grams of garlic in the mixture. I'm not making this formula, or I'm not a pharmacist. On that day, I do not know why the deities tell me. I'm also afraid. I mix to 12 midnight and I drank it. And after I drank it, 10 minutes later, I feel better. If I drank it, if I feel a problem, perhaps I would not be able to teach you. I have to try it first. If I die first. When I don't see any result, I would not teach you. Meaning that after 10 minutes, I drank, meaning of the garlic water in level 13 plus, as you know it. On that day, in the level 13 plus, the deity told me to be able to control the soul of the cell. I said, oh my God, in the past I do not learn about how to control the soul of cell. I do not believe in it. I never get sick. I remember on that day about 1 or 2 in the morning, my stomach had such a severe pain. So I woke up, I feel such pain, so I tried it. So I said that if it is the deity who revealed to me, the deity let me have such sickness. So I tried to control. I said, if it is in fact that I can control the soul of the cell to listen, then then the pain would disappear. If not, then I would not be able to teach. I would not be able to apply. I remember the formula the deity showed me when I was so in pain. I control the soul of the cell in my own stomach. The moment I control the soul of the cell in the stomach, the moment I pray, after I control the soul of the cell, the pain disappears. So I slept until the morning, and then I start a program to teach the level 13 plus. When I see the result, then I can teach. So, in the case of Iwi garlic water, I explained, if you have the sickness and you feel better, then you continue to drink. When you recover, then as a preventive way, now all of you, if you don't have any problem, each day in the morning, afternoon, at night, you drink 10 ml. That is a way for prevention. So you can improve the immune system in your body to fight against the infecting virus that may cause sickness. However, if you feel sick or you feel weak, then you can increase the dose. Instead of 10 ml, you drink 30 ml in the morning, 30 ml in the afternoon, 30 ml at night. Then you drink like that. Recently, as I taught you, now I share with you the experience. First, those of you who are overweight. So for those of you who are overweight, so if you have a large, big stomach and you want to control your weight, so instead of after eating you drink, so now for those of you who are overweight, you drink the garlic water and then you eat later. That way you are able to help with the case of overweight. I just taught this recently to help your digestive system. So with the garlic, after you eat, then it will help the digestion. That would help you in the case of overweight. As recently I have taught, so you have the ability, you are able to help yourself and help others. So you listen carefully. That is the part that you take note in the formula of the garlic. I cannot change because the formula the deities revealed to me. So sugar, garlic with liquor and water, but I confirm it is 350 grams of garlic plus 500 milliliters of water, because there is a typo mistake. So now I confirm it is 350 grams of garlic. And you leave for 72 hours. Now I also elaborate further a number of countries that include Vietnam and Thailand, including recently in Europe due to the hot climate. That in the past, I tell you, after you mix, you put in the mixture outside. Now you can put in the fridge after 72 hours, because if it is the hot climate, then you discard all of the garlic, you pour in the water, the garlic water, and you keep in the fridge so you can drink. So that is to help your immune system. This is one of the remedy to help to improve your immune system to fight against the virus. As recently you know, some of the symptoms, the problem, that using the garlic water, they are able to help many cases. They are very fortunate. In a case, the doctor would not imagine that they can cure. That recently, someone reported me in my country, and the country is poor. The child tried to learn to help the mother, and calling me each time when the mother gets sick, calling me. Now the mother, about 50 or 60 years old, in a severe case, supposed to die. Now she is completely cured. That I explained for you. This is a case that's supposed to die, a case of cancer. But now, after the diagnosing, this person, I remember...
Ayuda a personas que tienen cáncer que se supone que van a morir.
Mexico 3.
So all of the disease was disappeared. So this is one good sign, for not for just that one person, but there are many other cases. That is very fortunate, perhaps, so that they have an opportunity to live close to the family, so that they will have the means for others to learn, to progress. I also congratulate not just that lady, but all of us, as you are fortunate in that sense. Now go on, next question.
Belarus.
Здравствуйте, дорогой мастер Дан.
Hello, dear Master
Мой
Dan.
первый вопрос
My
касается
first
тоже
question
чесночной настойки.
is also about
Повторите. Дорогой мастер Дан, большое
Master
спасибо
Dan,
за
thank you very
возможность
much for the
получать
opportunity
знания дальше.
that
У меня
we
3
have to
вопроса.
keep on
Первый
learning
вопрос
from you. I
касается
have 3
чесночной
questions.
настойки.
First question is related to garlic.
Пожалуйста, в свете грядущих событий разрешите заряжать
Could you please
чесночную
allow us
настойку
to
на
transfer
расстоянии по
energy to
телефону.
garlic water or distance,
И
maybe
разрешите,
using
пожалуйста,
telephone
давать
connection?
чесночную настойку людям, которые
Could you please also
слышали
allow
о
us
школе
to
универсальной
give garlic
энергии.
water?
Sorry guys, can
Слышали
you
о
please mute the Russian? We cannot hear
на
English.
расстоянии.
Хорошо.
Perhaps you will have to begin
Второй
all
вопрос.
over. And please mute the Russian because it's confusing. We try, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Dear Master, thank you very much for the opportunity to keep on learning from you. Do you hear me well now?
Yes.
Thank you. In the light of upcoming events, dear Master, could you please teach us how can we transfer energy to garlic water, maybe over distance, maybe possibly by having connection over the telephone at the same time. Also, could you please allow us to give garlic water to people who have heard about the School of Universal Energy, who heard about Master Dan, and people to whom we are transferring energy? Thank you. My second question. If we went through certain lessons, some difficult situation, we've seen that maybe we didn't act correctly. That we didn't understand what is the best solution in that situation. What can we do afterwards? And is it that situation that we went through? Could it be the lesson for whom could this be a lesson? Is it a lesson for our body, or is it a lesson for the soul? And also, dear Master, I know a person who cannot sleep with lights off, and he cannot. He has to have lights on since he's 14. if that person will send me a photo of various souvenirs from various countries and stuffed animals that he has in his room, in his apartment, would I be able to use technique of receiving light of God's aura for 2 seconds and transferring it for 3 seconds, 9 times a day for 10 days consecutively, using that photo in order to be able to help that gentleman? Could you please advise something in this case? Thank you very much.
Your question, let me answer for you. As your question relates to the garlic water I share with you, Master Dang, in front of you right here. Each time when I want to prepare garlic water, as you know, my hand, I still have the problem. I have to spend 6 or 7 hours to peel the garlic. So instead of using the machine, so I myself, I use the knife to cut, and then I peel off the garlic. So now, you said, is there a faster way? Now, as you do like that, each day you can call all your family members to come all together, and each week they prepare the peel of the garlic, and you have enough. In the future, if you want to do it, you don't even have the time, and you don't want to have enough to drink. I just warn you ahead. We don't know any time that Earth we will have the threat because of the contaminated air all over the world. Because of the global warming, the air and the virus, as this virus, they are very powerful. That may cause a problem all over the world, all of the humans. Starting from now, I advise for you, first, especially for those of you in the summer right now, but you have to prepare for the winter, the flu epidemics in the winter. It might cause a lot of death. Now you're in the summer in America. That in America, they already had the warning to prepare for the winter. There will be a lot of death. If this virus are developing, they don't have enough the vaccine to meet the demand to deal with this new virus. So I advise for you, try to do it. So now, as you mentioned like that, I understand for you, I help you. So instead of 350 grams of garlic, you spend 6 to 7 hours. I would choose the weekdays on Saturdays, Sundays when I do not teach. Then from the evening to 12 midnight, when it's calm and I just like meditate, I just do it. All the children, I sleep, and Teresa, she do the sewing, and I myself, I just close the door. Nobody come in to do it. You know why? First, peeling the garlic, just like meditating. Secondly, I can focus on the garlic, and second, and I immerse to the garlic and I drink it. I heal myself. I do not allow, but all the people, I have to let them, so I have to give it to them. I said I do not want to give to anyone, but not much. Each time they ask for it, they ask more than a liter. So those that because of my love, so I have to give it to them. So I peel. So now my hand is still hurt from peeling. I'm happy to do it. So you can see like that. I give you the formula, another formula for you. So you are busy with your work schedule. So I allow you to peel the garlic. So as I mentioned to you, you peel all the garlic. Do not wash it. I myself, I want to do everything in orderly. I do not want to wait for the next day. But if you don't have the time, today you peel, let's say 50 grams. Tomorrow you peel 150 grams, or the following day you peel. After you peel, you keep in the fridge. When you have a total of 350 grams of garlic, and you mix with the salt and sugar and liquor, and then you put in the fridge. And after 72 hours, you peel, pour away the garlic. If you're not still lazy, then there's nothing I can do. I myself, one time I make 3 or 6 kilograms of garlic. My God, I let people to drink. I prepare at home. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I remember to drink, sometimes I forget to drink. Now since I'm used to it, if I don't drink it, I'm just like addicted. It is better to be addicted to garlic water rather than liquor. I share with you. You have to mix it yourself. You cannot do it from a distance. And it's not effective if you do it from a distance, because they do not mix it correctly. Secondly, the water, how do you know the location where to transfer energy to? When they call you, they say that put on a table, you know which table? So you cannot do it from a distance, you have to do it in person. For outsider, you cannot give it to them to drink. Only if you are from the level 16 and higher, you can prepare it. You can send to your own family, your parents, grandparents, if they like to drink. After you mix and you transfer energy, and you can give it to them. There's no problem to that. For outsiders, no. It's not that I'm or strict. It's not that. But because the human nature, when you see that they are dying, to give it to them after they get healed, they turn around and curse at you because they feel shame. After you heal them, they turn around and curse at you. So it is a pity for them. So it's best not to give it to them. However, if you have the goodwill, prepare when there is epidemics with 100,000 deaths, then you can give it to them to drink. It's not too late. At that time, I'm afraid that you just keep it for yourself. You don't want to give to your family, because you just take care of your immediate family. For the faraway relative, for sure the neighbor, for sure you won't give it to them. When there is epidemics that cause, in the case of flu epidemics, that cause a lot of death, I tell you the truth, at that time, even if they want to sell it, you want the cost of 3,000 per bottle, you would not give it to them. The experience from my country, they want to flee from the country. At home, the glass of water, not even a cent, and when out there, $5,000 cannot buy a cup of water. $10,000 cannot even buy a cup of water. $10,000 they drown and die at sea. So now you see the water, you don't see the precious, but when you are in the desert, you cannot even buy a glass of water. So that is how I share with you. It is not that I'm selfish, but that is to awaken the humans. You have the chance, you can save them in the future. When they're almost dying, when they pour it to them, you transfer energy and you merge them, they would be able to save them. Not now. When they say that God to save them, they don't see God. When they see you, only then they will be valuable. But now people with their ego, they always claim that they are better. They claim that they are able to do everything. Do not save them. I tell you the truth. You save them collectively, not individually. You have the ability to save them collectively. It is not that we hate them, but we don't let them carry the sin. The sin that after you save them and they turn around and curse at your parents or ancestors. Why should they curse at your parents and ancestors? So you'd rather not to give it to them, so they depend on the pharmacy or the doctors, and let them be. I confirm with that for you. If you love them, you give it to them to drink, they will not be effective. When I say you cannot, if you try to do it, violate, it would be just like drinking normal water. If you don't believe, try it. You can try it, you can see the result. At that time, if they don't have stomach pain, they drink it and they have more stomach pain. At that time, you die faster. Whether they get the stomach pain, they turn around and sue you. So that's why I see it, including your own relatives, your own family members. You let them drink and they don't want to drink, not to mention so others, when they heal and they turn around and curse at you, when they have a problem, they sue you. So it's best just to keep it for yourself. It is not, I don't have love, I don't have compassion, but love, compassion, that you have to use wisdom, enlightenment. You have to know when to help. It is to know to help, not to know to hurt. The two is different. That is the reason why I restrict. Do not give it to outsiders. Only in a large AV family. First, your parents, children and grandchildren, they can drink without any problem, with the condition that you have to mix it yourself and you can send to them. But you can tell them to drink with the right dose. Only in that way you are able to help them to improve the immune system, to fight against the virus. Now it's so easy. That is the test. You ask, I give you the answer already. You let them drink and they turn around and curse at you. If you can handle it, then let them drink. They do not just curse at you. They curse at your family, they curse at your parents and grandparents. You let them drink and then turn around and curse at you. Can you handle it? If you can, then let them drink it. If you can handle their cursing and you say that you have love and compassion that your parents and grandparents get cursed and then they are dead already, but they turn around and they curse you. I have seen. That's why. It is not that I'm selfish. I love all the people. I want to help the people. I don't want them to commit the sin. So in the case of the test, as you know, through this test and trial, whenever it comes to you, you accept. So you know, you do the good thing, they curse at you, so just pretend you are deaf. It's a waste of time. The more tests, in many aspects, that's only one point that you can endure it with your patience. Then you are able to overcome all. So these 2 points, to yield to them and accept, then you can overcome all. As you know, as I explained this in the lower levels, in level 19, I just share with you. They say that you are bad. Are you bad? That person say that how come you are so bad? Are you bad? If you are not, why should you be angry? That is so illogical for the people. You are not bad, so why should you be angry? If you are angry, meaning you are bad. If you are bad, if they say that you are bad, if you are right, then that's why you are angry. So I show you in a very simple way. Whoever teach you, like Master Dan, they said you are bad, you are not bad, and you are angry, and if you are right and you are still angry, so whose fault is it? Is it your fault or their fault? Your fault is 100%, not even 99%, 100%. If you don't have it, so why should you be angry? If you are angry, then they are right. If you are right, why you should be angry? So no matter how it is, you are wrong. You go forward and you go backward, or you stand still, you die. So it is remain silent and you can live. You can see whatever they say. You just pretend you are deaf. You don't listen. You don't know what they say, right or wrong. That is how you accept to be deaf. Then you can overcome all. But you have the ear. You hear what they say. Supposedly, you just cover your ear, and when they do the sign, and then you take out the ear cover, and you feel angry. So in summary, in the human world, I just advise for you. You know all of these are fake. Then don't be angry. So you can overcome all of them. These are the fake action, the fake words. Do not use all these fake things that you feel angry. The truth, you should be the truth or the false. You should not be angry, because you know in this human world, this is the fake world. Then you should not use this to cause you to with anger. You are able to overcome all of these difficult trials. In fact, nobody is testing anyone, because we could not understand the reason. As you know the reason why it is like that it is fake, then you should not be angry. You are able to overcome all the tests, because you see the fake one, you think it is the truth, you think that it is a test for you, you see all these are fake. If you lost, do not be angry, because you are angry, you lost it already. Once you lost your possession, it's just lost. You feel angry, you can keep on feeling angry, it is lost already. So just thinking that doesn't have tied to you. You have a chance to create others. It's just like in your life, you pass through all of these tests, and in the case of stopping them, is it you who decide or theirs? You want to learn EVE, the one who decides for you, your spouse or your children, who decide for you. If you decide already, nobody can stop you. And if your soul is able to decide, then nobody can stop you. I tell you the truth, there is a force that stops you. But your soul is highly capable. You are able to overcome all of those. To learn to help the body, to learn to help other people, to help your spouse, your children, to help the family, then you can overcome all of this. Just like yesterday I mentioned to you, I don't have much ability. You learn EV in level 19, you don't have much ability. But then how come in the case of the death sentence, we pray, we transfer energy, and they are set free? And they can return to their home without the death sentence, without the life sentence. They only been kept for 7 years instead of having a death sentence with the mistake in the medical practice. So you can see, as you can see that, as one of the miracle, not from Asadang, not from you, not from us, but from the deities, to prove certain things that the deities are close to us, so you can pray to them and they can help in situations. In that way, you have the ability to continue on your journey to help other people, and this in a difficult situation, as I had just mentioned to you. If you can understand and you know that, then there is nothing that you are not able to overcome. There's no trial that you are not able to handle. You just remember all of this trial, that is because of you, not others. You said, how come you come to learn and the husband caused problem to you, the wife causing problem to you, the neighbor causing problem to you? No one. They are all easy to you. It is you who cause problem to you, but you are not aware of it. It is you who cause problem to you and you are not aware of it. You think it is your spouse, you think it is your parents, but in fact it is you who cause problem to yourself. Including the soul who are close to you from the time of birth until now, the soul of the self right close to you. Sometimes you are hurting them without knowing, including myself. 60 years of my life, I was not aware of it. When I'm angry, I hit my arm, I hurting so many of this soul, injured so many souls. Just from my anger, I hit only the pillow alone. They also yell. We cannot see them. We are not aware of it. Really, we don't know. We do not see and we do not know about it. Once I know about it, I continue to do the same. Because at the moment of anger, then you just be so violent. You are hurting yourself. They are hurt. If they cry it out, you don't hear, but you don't see them, their pain. But in fact, your arm is feel pain, and many of them die already. The cell, you are not aware of it. The reason this you, and they are so innocent, and you're killing them. They do not even blame you. They just silently die. They silently being injured. These are the soul of the cell that are living right close to you through your whole life. In your body, as your body is still on this earth. Nobody understands, nobody knows about this. Just like I mentioned to you, as a number of you who know, 25 centuries ago, on the cup of water, Buddha said that when you drink, you are killing so many lives. They said that at that level of knowledge 25 centuries ago, the doctors, they do not know. 25 centuries later, they know that in here there are 8 million bacteria souls in the cup of water. So now the doctors and you say that you're good and you're intelligent, but 2-3 centuries ago, the level of science to diagnose, they have to smell the urine or the stool of the patient to diagnose, to know. But in Cambodia, if they eat many of these fish sauce, it smells so bad. It's just because of they eat the fish sauce that they have a stomach pain. But 2-3 centuries ago, that's how they just to smell the urine or to smell the stool. Now they just try to cover. But in the past, you don't know what kind of sickness. So through time, it changed. Or they smell the urine. And for those who are drinking the alcohol, then you don't know what type of symptom. Some people who are drinking a lot of alcohol, with the urine, you only smell the alcohol. So you can see. Now they research this and research that. But as I read through the books, and I just wanted to share with you, diagnose with the immune system, with the virus, the blood type, research everything, but they do not know why they have a fever. At the end, the doctor said to pray to God and to live to God, and that's all. Because they don't know anything. They learn everything, they experiment everything. They don't see any symptom, but it is a real problem. I just share with you, about 15 years ago when I was in America, that person, 88 kilograms. after going to Thailand, going back with the sickness. So he said they just take out the blood from 88 down to only 28 kilogram, and to have to be on a wheelchair, and they cannot find any diagnose cannot find anything, because it is the case of possession. So how can the physician diagnose from 88 down to only 28 kilograms and losing 60 kilograms? They have no symptom from being fat to be on a wheelchair, and after on a wheelchair, see me only 5 minutes. The next day, recover completely, because that is the case of a wandering soul who possesses the body. The doctor didn't know about this. They said, "How come I'm so good?" Because this is you are a physician. You don't know how to deal with this case of possession. Even if this wandering soul possessed the physician, he would die also. That is the practical one. From the medical field, it's different. From the spiritual field, it's different. So that's why do not say that we are higher than them. We are fortunate, and that soul is fortunate. We are fortunate that the deities allow us to help these souls, and this soul who possess this body, to help this soul to evolve, to help the body and the soul to be back to normal, to help people. That is how I explain for you. In the case with our trial, the reason it is ours. Do not blame anyone else. If we know the test, that is caused from you, then you can clear. In a way, you are able to overcome all the difficulty. Do not judge anyone except yourself. The reason of all the problem and trial, that is because of your body and your soul, not others. Then suddenly it is much lighter for you. Do not judge anyone. Just judge yourself, and suddenly you can clear your sin. Then you are able to overcome all the problem and trials. I explain for you, I teach you everything, and I show you the way. Then you are able to overcome the problem. And that person from the 14 years in the East, in that case, that person is a ghost, afraid of ghosts. I have a student who follow me almost 17, 18 years, as you know. In any of the level, the person also, even including in level 20, is still afraid of ghosts, and she's a Buddhist, and always carry in Buddhism, they have the rosary, and doing the rosary and prayer. Just like in Catholic, this one, the rosary, and when she's sleeping with many of the lady, at night tell them to close the door, otherwise the ghost will come in. You think that including 8 windows, the ghost can come in. Now in the level 20, still the same, afraid of ghost. That is so strange. So now I show you, I have a formula, very good. Now, your practice is travel to space. You close the light, so switch off the light. So whether, because you close your eyes, so when you practice, when you lose all the sensation of your body, you pray to my soul. At that time, you stop the practice. You practice, and you are not able to travel to space. And as a student asked, could not travel to space, and just close your eye. Do not practice. Pray to the Soul Master Dang to merge with you, and suddenly you fall asleep. At that time, if you can turn on the light or switch off the light, you don't even have to worry about it. That is how I help you to practice, to help your body to transform into energy, to travel to space. As you practice, so you are able to sleep peacefully, and when you practice, you can lose all sensation of the body for several hours, just like you sleep all the way through the morning, 5-7 times like that. Then you don't have to worry about the light on or off. There's no problem with that. That is for you. And for the other people, you transfer energy. I advise for you, you not transfer energy to the other person. Is transfer energy to the house of the person, not to the statue. You think that is in the statue, but perhaps in the house. You transfer energy night time to the house of the person, and do that for 10 consecutive days. Then the person will be able to help that person. But for you, you practice to travel to space. You are unable to. Then you pray to my soul to merge with you 5 or 7 times. When you practice like that, so you can sleep, you are able to sleep. When you sleep, you'll be sleeping peacefully as you are practicing to help your body to transform into energy to travel to space. Next question.
Мы говорим, что They're telling my body, my mind, my consciousness, my soul, the souls of cells of my body. But then we are also telling that our I am is in our soul. But at the same time, we know that the soul at each level is changing. Then what is a human that is living on earth? What is it if on one side we humans have the concept of my body, my mind, my consciousness, my soul, or the souls of the cells of my body? At the same time, we know that souls are changing at every level. Second question. Our physical body, is it necessary only for the evolution of soul on earth, or does our body have some other mission which is different? Thank you very much.
Now, for us, as we live in this world, the three-dimensional world, all the people in this three-dimensional world will learn in the same way. As I explained to you, I teach you to use from beyond the three-dimensional world, meaning from the universe, so that you are able to merge into this world. You are able to help wherever is needed, missing, to help this world completely. Eventually, you are preparing in a level 18. After you complete the level 18 with your brilliant ideas, you have limitation. In level 19, you will have a broader opinion, broader knowledge. You see the way that you can change the environment in more ways. One of the points I want to remind you in this level 19 to prepare, so you know, never think that as you learn to the higher levels, that you have more trial or difficulties. If you think that the trials in the family, in society, culture, family, testing you, then you can change the formula. Whose fault is it? Then you put a question mark. Then you ask, whose fault? Whose fault is it? That caused this problem. Then you answer, it is your own fault. Then the test would finish. It's so simple. I teach you very simple. Because you think that you are judging others, then you keep on saying that you have a test. So instead of judging A, B, C, D, you judge yourself. Then the trial test would complete, finished. It doesn't mean that I teach you and explain to you in lengthy way, tell you to do this and do that. I show you, you will see the result immediately. It doesn't mean that you have to learn a theory and 5 months later you practice, and a year later you can see the result. You learn right now, you do it right now, and you see the result right in this moment. Because you learn in high levels, I have to show you. As I show you, it is less, but your soul will show you more, because they're linked to you. After the 19, that soul will connect to your body, always close to your body. That soul will remind you the point that I have just taught you. Whose fault is it? Question mark. Your own fault. Period. That's it. Then you have everything. You can overcome all the problems. Tradition, culture, family, society. No one can test you. It is you. As you know the reason, then you can clear it. I have taught you in the lower levels. As our nature, we have the good and the bad side. Never boast. Because we owe a lot. All of those people who are on this earth, from the first to the fourth human race to the fifth human race, we owe a lot. I have taught many of the lower levels. I just want to share for you so you understand. As I summarize, so you can understand better. Who created you? That now you can become a person. You owe the food. You owe the country. You owe the ancestors. You owe all of these people who provide the food and shelter for you. So all this debt. Now, did you pay them all? So how can you boast? Buddha taught me. He came down on earth. He owed a lot. He owed all the people who took care of him so he can become the enlightened one. Without his own aunt to take care of him, then he would die, and then he would not become the Buddha. he owes the country, the people. If there's not of these, none of these people who die and sick that he saw them, that he would not come to become the Buddha. He would become just a prince or the king. But through the means of these people who die, the sick people, the people who take him on the four gates to see all of these people, that's why to motivate him. Otherwise, if he stay in the palace with the beautiful wife, with all of these people who take care of him, after the king died, and he would become the king, he'll take the throne and become the king, and after he died and cremate his body, and that's all. So I have to thank all of these people. Buddha revealed that to me, so I share with you. So advice for you, do not boast. For you, you inherit for $1 million, how many you repay? So do not boast. You are fortunate that the deities have given to you the mission, so you are able to contribute. That is the greatest fortune in your life. That is a blessing God had given to you a lot. So you have to thank. If you think like that, then you don't have any problem. So now, in a family, you say that how come the parents have a problem, the spouse has problem, the children has problem. Do you love? If you love, then you don't have any problem. But you have the fake love. Your children said that you love your children, but you criticize others. But you love your children. But you love them, but when they make a mistake, you curse them, yell at them, and you feel tired, and they feel tired. When they are sick, and you try to calm them, but when they are well, then you yell at them. This is so strange. And you say that, my God, the Buddha gave you a lot of children, and then you have this test and that test, and they test you. But my God, if you love them, then you overcome all of this problem. You want everything. You cannot. You want everything to be straightforward for you, but you do not do it for others. You always cause a conflict to others. How can you have everything straightforward for you? If you want opposite, then it will be opposite for you. If you want to flow with you, it is your own fault. So that is it. The reason I share with you. So we don't have any more trial. If you don't have money, you have 100 and just spend 40. Then why you complain you don't have money? If you had 100 and you want to spend 180, and you say that you are suffering, you are complaining. But my God, from the moment of birth, you take care of them. When they grow up, when they have money, and you complain that you're suffering, it is your own fault. How can you be suffering? Supposedly, if they lie in the street and they be a beggar, then you complain with they have a house and they have money, they have the future, but you keep on complaining they are suffering. You see that they are suffering, but they have a luxury house and they have a car, and you keep on complaining that you're suffering. If they are a beggar, homeless, then you would be saying that you are suffering, but you keep on complaining you are suffering. You're comparing them with the billionaires. So whose fault is it? You said you have a lot of tests, but in fact, these are the tests you try to be the parent of others. So today I share with you, whose fault is it? Your own fault. And that's finished. Nobody would test you. You are able to overcome all the problems. I teach you very simple. So I just summarize through the questions so that you are able to overcome. As you are learning from the fake to have the truth, so you have wisdom, enlightenment in that sense. You judge yourself, then you can clear your sin, and others would not be influenced from you. So how come you don't do this? Why you keep on condemning them, judging them, and complaining you have this trial, that trial? It's you judge yourself and you clear your sin, and others, they don't have any sin. As they do not hate you and you don't hate them. This is so easy to do. But if you give them the money and you keep cursing at them, then it will be meaningless. You can see. So the subject, as you bring, I share with you, with this experience, the one who benefit the most, not them. You judge yourself, they feel better before they feel better, but in fact you feel better than them. In that sense, you don't have any problem, you don't have any doubt, you don't have any test. And you can see that. Now the change of the soul meaning that this is a highly capable soul. Just like you are asking a highly trained teacher to come to you, you don't learn enough experience, the soul will teach you. You don't learn spiritually to improve on the spiritual path, the new soul will help you. These are the one capability, with the capability to help you, to train you, to become a good person, to serve people. This new master that come to you knows everything that the former one can teach you. This new teacher who can help you to have wisdom and enlightenment so that you are able to contribute to help all the people. And the one nearest, meaning your family members. This is so simple. In that way, it is easy for you to grasp. Do not imagine the new soul, perhaps, that is the assistant of the king or the assistant of God. Or that one is an assistant, so perhaps you may be in high rank. You just think of a new teacher that come to you to teach you with wisdom and enlightenment so you can have full knowledge in order to contribute to help mankind. And that's all. You think like that is better. And that's all. Now, if there is new soul, if it is not your master, how can it help you to travel to space? How can it help you to merge to others? You can merge to others, meaning your soul merging is not your body. Your body cannot merge. Do not think that your body, your new soul, that merge to the soul Master Dang, and that soul who come to you, your body, to merge to others. The merits, the soul doesn't need any blessing. That is for your body. So that's how I explain for you. So you can understand. You can want to merge or not. It's up to you. The more you merge, the more you can receive the blessing. If not, then you just wait. That's all. It is so simple. Do not think that this soul is high. That soul has a capability and a power. Do not think like that. Never think like that. The soul can create the blessing for your body to benefit, for your family and your children and grandchildren to benefit. So you thank this new soul, just like a new teacher that come to teach you to become the person with wisdom and enlightenment to contribute to help the communities in the world, the people and the country. That is how I explain for you.
Turkey?
Okay, we are ready. One of the ladies here is going to have a question. Hello, Master. On the last seminar, level 16 to 18, you told us that higher souls will merge with us. From this I understand that we are a part of those higher souls actually, and we are reaching higher frequencies. Or with other words, if I try to express it with other words, I can tell that those higher frequencies are our own frequencies, but with the help we are getting from you, we change and we are starting to feel those higher frequencies. In a way, you are reminding us about those frequencies we actually have already. By your help and by your guidance, we are only being able to look at everything from another point of view, and we start to feel those new frequencies. This is how I'm trying to explain the new soul that that you tell us we are going to receive in each level. What would you tell about all this? What would you tell about all those thoughts I'm having? Would you please comment on that?
Now let me elaborate for you. Listen carefully. As you know, in the human world, all the living creatures, they create to become the humans. Many of the soul going through the changes to become the humans through times. As you learn, you cannot learn all. As the human can help the human, it is appropriate in the human world in order to help. Whatever they lack, then you can help. The soul has abundant. Sometimes the human need for, you have 6, they could understand. If we mention going back to history, in the spiritual development, the deities, they give blessing to the humans. And the humans, they pray to the deities for blessing. But then how come the humans, they give ranks to the deities and they try to change the deities? That is so illogical. The human, we don't have wisdom and enlightenment. The laws in the human world, I do not want to say in the past, but at the present, if you want to have changes, change the birth date, you have to need a lawyer, you have to register to change the name to prove with the evidence. But now they can just want to change, want to make a correction, they just do it. You can see. The human, that's how they do. And now what do you think? How can they help the human world? Therefore, the deities, depending on this situation, due to the different level of the countries, due to the different level of the knowledge, some is low and high. One of the greatest error that of the humans, like my country, they thought that they high, they learn high. That's why they see Buddha just like equal to them. And Buddha did not blame them for this. Because the children do not understand, they thought Buddha could not convince them. They do not listen, then there's nothing Buddha can do. Similarly for you, the higher soul come to you, do you listen or not? Do you accept or not? And some do not accept, I know. The soul cannot do anything. That's why the deity tell me, the human can help the human. The soul is ready to help you, to help the people. Do you want to help or not? To help more, you can benefit more. You don't help, you don't benefit. But you don't want to help. Because to help, meaning for benefit. And to help unconditionally, you don't do it. These are people who fail. Many who failed. But I cannot stop them. The deities give them all the ability. They gave all of us the freedom of choice. Then you can do anything you want. And if you think of the deities who can help all the people, then the blessing the deity has given to you to help your family, to give to your children, grandchildren. But if you don't want to do it, then it would be just like you are a rich person. You have the sufficient means to help people. But you are a poor person, then how can you help people? You yourself, you cannot help, then how can you help person A, B, or C? For sure, you can never help them. Because you are so poor, how can you have the sufficient means to help others? That is how I share with you on that point. You have the ability, do you want to use it or not? You have the ability, do you believe or not? No. The truth comes to you to use, but you don't want to use it. And you use a fake one and you keep on blaming this or that. You have to understand. You did not learn. You did not apply yet. So with everything that you know, you can do it and you will see the result. Now, I let you try it. In the class, I let you try it. Recently, I explained to you this morning, as my student mentioned, each 30 minutes to merge to 3%, and that person want to merge each time to merge to 9%. Now, I let you try it. If you are there to try to do it, now I let you try to merge to 3%. And now let's say you try to merge to 9%, and tomorrow, what happened to you? I can help you during the class. I'm here. Tonight, you can try to merge to 9%. After you practice, instead of to merge just 3% alone, you try to merge to 8 or 5 or 9%. Then you will see what happened. The negative problem that come to you, but I can help you to recover. For this, I can help you. Perhaps you come in, you feel weak, and then I can transfer energy to help you. It doesn't mean that the deities help you and you don't have the ability and you try to surpass them. For sure, you cannot surpass them. I just want to share with you, with everything I teach, the deities reveal to me, I show you, so you can prepare to receive a new teacher that come to teach you to have wisdom enlightenment through your training to travel out to space, through the support of my soul, combining with the new soul, so that you are able to achieve. The purpose to achieve is to help yourself, to help your family, and furthermore, to help all the people who are linked to you by faith. That is how I want to share with you. Do not think that you have the ability, that you can do anything you want. All through your journey, you think you have the ability, and you are silently, you wait. You don't wait, you have to do it. You have it, and you do it. You do more, then you can benefit more, meaning to benefit from the blessing. That I have to say, the deities give you the blessing. Once you have the blessing, you have everything. It doesn't mean that to say, to advise for you to do all the good thing, to have the material. No, the deities is ready to give you the blessing, the means. If you need the means, they give you all. You need the means, but what is the purpose? That is the main point that I want to share with you. To give you the husband or wife, family members, to benefit. For who? That is important. That is how I want to share with you on that point. You do one, you calculate to have 10. You don't. You do one, God may give you 100, not even 10. You don't have to calculate. If you don't calculate, you have everything. The deities never deceive you. The deities never try to deceive you. You just do it and you can benefit. But then, with the wealth that you have, what is the purpose? What can you do with it? That is more important. If you know how to use it appropriately, many times I had explained to you, money I have, I tell you the truth. If I do not share here and there, I tell you the truth. Now, I do not be equal to the billionaire, but at least a millionaire. I have money. But then with this money, I have to work hard. It doesn't mean that I just sit here and then you give me the money and I just sit here to collect the money. I have to in the morning I get sick and I work hard. I have to take care of you. Supposedly I can inherit 100%. It's mine. This is my own work. But then I want to give the blessing to all the large Iwi family all around the world. I give money for people. I give them to all the organization. What is the purpose? Meaning to share the blessing to you, not for me. I have abundance. I do not need these blessings. As I give, I do not calculate. I just give, meaning it's lost. Depending on faith and destiny of each location I give. That is how I share with you. As I have money, now I can see. It's not that I'm complaining. I have more money. In the morning, I only eat $4. In a day, I spend for a day. I spend not much, just eating rice and soup. In a day, I spend to eat $12 or $15 with the wine. When the students give me a lot of the wine, I just drink expensive wine. My home, I have many of the best wine, but I drink a little bit and then I give it to others so they can drink for me. In a day, I tell you, all of my clothing, people give to me, I buy very little. I buy one, but people give it to me 5, and I give it to others, and others give it to me again. If I don't spend any, in a day, I spend perhaps $12.50, not even $15. Sometimes not even 12, because in the morning I just eat a bowl of noodle, and now egg, $5, $7 for a dozen of the eggs. Now people give it to me, the eggs. I like to eat, the eggs, they give me the oil. I only just need 20 cents for gas, and then the 30 cents of the noodle, or the 50 cents for perhaps only just $1.20. So now it's in the morning I only spend 50 cents, just a little gas and water to boil. I don't mix much, and coffee people give to me. I only spend 20 cents of electric. So I don't know about the blessing. A lot of people give to me. I keep them. I have to give to others. I only give the old one to others, and I keep the new one. When I give, I only give. I have a lot. When I give, I tell you the truth. I give on my nephew, my student who give me out of date products. I couldn't bring them all, so I use my pen. I just clear the date, so it is like infinite. So this. They said that uncle gave me I do not want to say that it's expired 2 years expire the coffee. I give it to them. So people give him. So I just tell you, I'm practical. More importantly, as I have the money, I just share to all of you, share to everyone, depending on the fate and destiny I give. This is the link as the deities who share the blessing. I tell you the truth. My own nephew, I love them. This is another one who gave to my brother to take care of him. You know what happened? Depending on the blessing, just out into the ocean, suddenly with the wave, and with the wave carry one of the tree that hit the child, and the child died. With the money at home, supposedly stay at home. Taking the grandchild to go to the sea, and then with the wave hitting the child, and the child died instantly. They have the money, they don't use it for blessing. I just said, do not cry. Find another grandson. I see in my family when I give them the money, how come they die early? And that's why, if they cannot deserve the blessing, they die. And another one who died already. You can see I'm the master. My family members, they learn to the high levels. So my students learn the high level. I said that when I see the people who die to come to pray, that person who died, and he's still stay around in the home, closing the door, closing. So the wife, my own sister, many people who come to the funeral, but nobody pray to him, so he still stay around in the home. His soul. After two weeks, his death, he still stay around. Before his death, he went to ask to remodel the home. So now you can see, at the final moment, I tell his own son to learn to level 6. At home, his soul is still at home. His wife, after his death, his soul is still around in the home, still walking around. That is my own nephew. So you can see, the money is from the people. People who try to steal my money is not mine. So I'm always happy. So depending on their blessing, if they deserve, they can. My family members, they die, I'm happy. Supposedly, I feel sad, but when they die, that is a way to awaken their parents. So I tell them to try to do all the blessing. You don't have the blessing, and they try. So next time you have to do the blessing. So suddenly, very strange. He is converted to be Catholic, and suddenly all of them being Catholic, they convert to go to the Buddhist temple. From the time the grandson died, they think that going to the church is not as holy, because the body as the monk who pray. And when I see that they do not want to stay in the church anymore, this is the story of my family. All of them are my family. So you can see you do not feel sad. So now we prepare so that we can practice. You merge with me, and then tomorrow we continue on. I'll give you 1 minute to get ready. So all of you get ready to meditate. Now begin.